So guys, look at the number of these terror guys having meeting in a particular bush or a forest. You can see the number of persons here. And according to this video on the social media, they said this is happening in Nigeria. Don't forget that recently a faceless Facebook handle was threatening Christians that they are going to attack them this Christmas. Also, a US investigative journalist has come out to say they have gotten intel that there is plan to attack during Christmas Eve. So guys, that tells you that the Christian genocide is real. Now take a look at this headline here. This one here says, breaking over 20 worshippers kidnapped in Kogi Ekwa Church attack. So they are attacking Christians now. And this headline here says, bandit attack Ekwa Church in Kogi, kill one, abduct worshippers. So guys, you can see this is coming after, like 1 week ago, we saw that they attacked a Cherubim and Seraphim church, kidnapped the pastor and his wife, kidnapped the members, and they were demanding for 500 million naira. Later, they reduced their price to 100 million naira. Until now, those people are still in the forest with their captors. And now see another attack. Now they are focusing on churches. Now take a look at this video again. See the number of terrorists that is said to be gathering at a particular spot. So guys, tell me how this can be happening, and the Nigerian military, the NIA, the DSS don't have intel of this kind of meeting, assuming this actually happened in Nigeria. And that is why people are reacting after this news of fresh kidnap in Kogi Church happened. People have been reacting. Let me take you through some of these reactions here. Like this person here say, it is high time the whole world rise up and condemn the genocide of Christians in Nigeria and the hypocrisy of government in attacking another country over coup d'etat when her own home is on fire. And this other person here say, this is unacceptable. Places of worship are now killing fields, and the state still suffers only silence. The state still offers only silence and excuses. One life lost, others abducted, yet no urgency, no accountability. Security has collapsed, and Nigerians are paying the price with their lives. And this other person here also reacted and say, tell us, they tell you it's not about Christian genocide. Ask them, why are the terrorists only attacking churches? I blame the government, because this is not governance. If this is not governance in any true sense of it, we can respond. If we can respond to coup in Benin Republic, why is it so difficult to take down these criminals? So guys, churches are now their targets. They don't go to mosques. You don't even see them kidnap their imams, but they will kidnap reverend, kidnap pastors, and kidnap reverend fathers and all that. And at the end of the day, most of them hardly make it back home. And this other person finally say, the Islamization of Nigeria by Islamic fundamentalists, both within and outside Nigeria, will fail disastrously. Mark my word, Nigeria is more of a Christian nation than an Islamic one. Glory be to God. So guys, the question remains, how long are we going to wait until we start seeing the government really taking action? They say they want to set up community policing. What is holding them back? We really need our communities to be protected, especially this festive period. People can't go to church, no night vigil. Now it will even shock you to know that in the US, you know, they've been attacked. In Australia, there was an attack in the against the Jewish community. Now in Germany, the Christian market, the Christmas market, they have banned it, they have closed it because of fear of attack. Then in France, they said they are not going to have any New Year Eve, Christmas Eve and all that, because they are afraid of terrorists attacking them. So you can see this is a global fight, this is a global attack. I mean, and that is why you see there are powerful people behind this jihad push, you know, that are sponsoring these people. That is why you see them carry AK-47, sorry. I'm not going to allow you to take a look at this video, and let me know your honest reaction in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Now take a look.
Can't take away from the fact, first and foremost, that jihad is definitely part of our deen. And as Muslims, we should never ever shy away from this. And yes, there may be types of jihad, but of the peak of this jihad is that which the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ spoke about, and I'll read the hadith soon. And that is fighting in the path of Allah Azza wa Jal. A physical fight, not the fighting of the nafs. Although your nafs is needed in order for your physical to go out in the path of Allah. So we're not talking about the struggle of the nafs, we're talking about the physical jihad, the physical struggling against the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in order to make the word of Allah Azza wa Jal the highest.
Breaking news coming from Australia, Bondi Beach, where Jewish families, including children, elderly, women, men, were targeted by two Muslim terrorists while they were chanting Allahu Akbar and just shooting and spraying bullets at them. What did you think the term globalize the intifada means? That's exactly the definition. Take the violence and globalize it. Take it to Australia, take it to France, take it to the UK, take it to the United States, make it absolutely normal. And you were walking with them and chanting with them that same sentence. Why are Jews being targeted in Australia? Why are Jews being targeted celebrating a Jewish holiday? Why is that the case? Why are we normalizing this type of violence against Jews around the world? Why is that the case? We have to start taking action. And what do I mean by taking action? Deport them. People who do not fit with your ideology, deport them. Because then we'll see a lot more violence in Australia, in France, in the UK, in different parts of the world. My heart goes out to the families of the wounded, injured, and of course the victims. This is a disgusting act of anti-Semitism, and we need to act now.
If the Western countries and all the liberals don't open up their fucking eyes, what happened in Sydney, Australia can happen anywhere else, just like it's been happening in the past few decades, and y'all just wanted to ignore it and be like, it's not about Islam. It is about Islam. It's written in their scripture, in their hadiths and in Quran. Look at this. It's not me saying this. It's written. This is evidence. So if you want to argue, you have to be well knowledgeable. You have to be well equipped with the right knowledge, okay? So study this. And let me tell you something. Islam destroyed the country that I was born in, Iran. Iran got destroyed by Muslims, by Shia Muslims, right? Every single country surrounding Iran is not really doing good. Just look at them. Afghanistan, because of Islam. Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, Yemen, Oman. How many more countries? Isn't it pretty obvious that yes, Islam is not able to progress. Islam is not able to create a well-maintained society. And don't tell me about UAE. You know UAE is liberal. You know UAE is going through a whole different route. So don't use them as an example. When Muslims took over, when Muhammad was taking over, Islam started from one city, Mecca. They went to a city named Yathrib. They renamed it to Medina after killing all the Jewish tribes. So when they follow a guy like Muhammad who had all those vibes and who raped a 6-year-old girl named Aisha and who killed all these people just because he wanted to expand, obviously this is going to happen right now. That his followers going to go to different countries and kill innocent people because they think this is a jihad. Not all Muslims are bad people. I want to argue that 80% of the Muslims are victims of a long-term systematic Islamic invasion in their countries. Syria was a Christian nation. Lebanon was a Christian nation. Egypt was a Christian nation. Persia was Zoroastrian. They're all Muslims right now. They don't even know why they're Muslims. Did you know that Coptic Christians used to mark their kids with a little cross after the Muslim people took over, after the Islamist people took over, because they used to kill Coptics, and Coptics didn't want their kids to forget that they were born Christian. The same thing will happen over here if you don't fucking open up your eyes. It's written in Quran and Hadith. I'm not making up anything. I have great Muslim friends. They don't even know why they're Muslims. They drink and they smoke and stuff like this. So you're not a full Muslim. Just accept it. Just leave it behind. But the solution to all of this, close down all the Islamic centers everywhere, especially United States. Because they don't want you. They hate you. So how can you have a center in a country that you hate them? Close them down, kick out all the muftis and ayatollahs and whoever is related to them and all the Islamist people. And if you're Muslim, you want to come over here, you have to write down that I'm leaving Islam behind legally. Done.
So here's the irony of what happened at Bondi Beach yesterday in Australia when 2 Muslim terrorists killed 15 innocent men and women ages 10 to 87 years old, with 42 hospitalized, while a man named Ahmed Al-Ahmed, who happens to be Muslim at 43 years old, steps in, we've all seen the video, takes away the weapon, gets shot twice, is celebrated as a hero, which he ought to be. But you know what the irony is? The irony is even one good, peaceful Muslim man couldn't save the life of 15 innocent human beings celebrating Hanukkah, which is what their religion is about, from 2 Muslim jihadist extremists from killing them. So I don't care if 90% is peaceful. The 10% true believers jihadists that hate what America stands for, that hate the Western ideology, that hate us protecting women, us allowing women to vote, that hate the freedom of speech model that we have, that hate the Second Amendment model that we have, that hate the capitalistic society that we have. And we have to sit on the sidelines and be worried about being called Islamophobic? Really? I lived in Iran for 11 years and I saw what this was all about. If Americans cannot see what's going on in Australia, tragic event, breaks my heart. There's a lot of Assyrians and Armenians who live in Australia, and I'm Assyrian and Armenian. There's a lot of people. A pastor, Bishop Marmari, got stabbed in the eye. A Syrian bishop who was very much needed, his voice during COVID, got stabbed in the eye by a Muslim boy at 19 years old. Here's a bishop that went to Gaza to pray for Gazan families. He went there with his church. A 19-year-old comes and stabs him in the eye. And he still forgave them because our religion of Christianity believes in that. We're supposed to sit in America, think it's okay with what's going on in Dearborn and Somalia, and Governor Tim Walz has the audacity to get up and say we're going to let even more Somalians in after $1.5 billion was stolen from taxpayers over there? Really? We're supposed to sit on the silence and be vocal about this and not think it's a big deal? We're supposed to do that? I don't know about that. Listen, this is what matters to me. I love this country. I love America, and I fear the man upstairs more than anything else I fear in my life. More than anything else I fear in my life. The grace and the life he's blessed me with makes no sense. Every day I'm grateful for what happened. And I feel bad because those 15 who are no longer here with us, their kids will never hug them again. There are no more dinners. The family, the mom, dad, there are no more, hey, honey, no, gone. Gone. Why? Islamophobia. Don't criticize them. They're peaceful. Why don't we pull up some data? Do we not see on Snap, when all the Snap government shutdown was taking place, who took advantage of most of our Snap programs? Who was it? Which immigrants took advantage of what Snap programs? What did we learn during this season? What are we funding? What are we supporting? Who are we recognizing? Who are we protecting? We got veterans who fought for this country. Are we more worried about our veterans or illegal immigrants that come in here? Who's a priority? Americans? I don't know. But there are certain things that we shouldn't be afraid of being vocal about. This is one of them. By the way, I don't care if you're Muslim, Sunni, Shia, Jew, 7-day, Jehovah, 7-day, LDS, Scientology. I don't care what you are. If you come into a community, you assimilate, you love America, you make it safer, you create jobs, you adjust to what the country standards are, you bring crime down, you bring all of that stuff down, good for you. And if you do that, I don't care where you come from. But also, if you pay attention to that data, and we see when they come in, what they do to Dearborn, what they do to Somalia, what they do to different communities, and you still sit there and you're like, nah, it's just not a big deal, then you deserve everything you get. Because we learned what happened to Australia, because the Prime Minister 90 days ago, stop being Islamophobic. You know, he's Novak phobic. He's more afraid of Novak not taking a vaccine than these guys that are coming in right now. Look what they're doing to their beautiful country. And there's a lot of Assyrians and Armenians, like I said, that live in Australia. And you see what's going on to UK. And now look what's going on in Poland. They take nobody. Dominic Tarczynski, he said it, the parliament. He said it, 0. Lowest unemployment, lowest crime, lowest stabbing, lowest any of that. And they have the lowest population of taking refugees from Muslim countries out of any country in Europe. And they're crushing it. Maybe what we need to lean on is God and data. God and data. Maybe we need to look at God and data and make decisions based on that. Anyways, God bless everybody.
Do you think this Pakistani and Palestinian who did a terrorist attack in Bondi Beach, Australia, and it killed at least 11 people was just a false flag? But if it is a false flag, it's odd because in Germany, they just shut down Christmas markets over terror fears. Is that a false flag? In Paris, they just canceled New Year's Eve public celebrations over terror fears also. Is that a false flag? In over 20 countries, these terrorist attacks that all came, were they all false flags? And when people start figuring out these patterns, they're told two things at the same point. Either A, you're a racist for asking questions, or B, everything is a false flag and nothing is real. So which one do you think it is? Or all of those thousands of terror attacks from India, Australia, Israel, London, America, all false flags? Are 20 different countries staging false flags for fun? Is that just what people do? The next 1,000 terror attacks, are they all false flags? Or is there an actual ideological problem you and I are just not allowed to talk about? And this man who tackled the shooter, the terrorist at Bondi Beach, who risked his life to stop more people from dying, he helped Jews, was a Muslim. That's important because I think majority of Muslims are good people. And This is about who actually confronts the terrorists, the extremists that make up a tiny minority, or who stays silent when it keeps showing up, these terrorist attacks, again and again in our free world. So if one Muslim can run towards a terrorist with his body and risk his life, why can't more Muslims in the West run toward the problem with their voice? Why don't they speak up? You don't get to praise resistance online and then act shocked when civilians are hunted offline. So no, asking questions doesn't make you a bigot. Pretending nothing is connecting here might make you reckless. And dismissing every concern as racism or phobia is how societies lose the ability to protect themselves. Think, don't chant, don't excuse, don't gaslight me, because our runway is getting shorter.
As the eyes of the world have seen the horrific and horrendous Muslim terrorist attack on the Jewish community in the nation of Australia, I am calling for every Christian that sees this video to join me tonight as we expose the hidden alliance between the so-called religion of peace, Islam, and the spirit of the Antichrist. Why? Because we as Christians are truth carriers and truth bearers. What we allow on this side of eternity will one day become reality unless we fast, pray, stand, and expose the truth of the false prophet Muhammad and the false religion of Islam. It is time for the Church of the Lord Jesus to use the authority invested in us by the Holy Ghost and through the Holy Scriptures to see a generation come to the reality and the truth of the one true living God. Comment the word truth down below and I'll send you the invite to join me tonight. It's going to be historic. We'll see you there.
This is a good day to remind you that nothing has been done about the genocide of Christians in Nigeria. The community is still living in fear. The bandits are still very much alive and they are still with their weapon. And they can strike again anytime if they want. And so the people are still living in fear. The Nigerian government are trying to sweep this issue under the carpet like every other issue that they've been sweeping under the carpet in Nigeria. Please, Nigerians, nothing has been done about the thousands of people that have been killed this year and other years in Nigeria because of their faith. Please keep speaking up.
The terrorist attack in Nice, France was conducted by a Muslim. The 2017 Paris attacks were conducted by Muslims. The reason they have to check our shoes in the airport is because of a shoe bomber. He was Muslim. There was the underwear attacker. He was also a Muslim. The terrorist attack in Orlando on the nightclub. He was a Muslim. The Westminster attack. Muslim. Boston Marathon bombers. The Manchester Arena bombers. The Pan Am bombers. The Fort Hood shooter. The Beltway snipers. 2005 Bali bombings. The murder of Lee Rigby. The USS Cole bombers. The London Bridge attack. The Madrid train bombers, the Charlie Hebdo attacks, the San Bernardino attacks, all Muslims. 3,000 Americans dead on 9/11, Muslims. Beirut marine bombers, Muslims. The reason it's all Muslims attacking Western societies is because they truly believe that we're infidels and apostates. And they go and actually do this because they believe that their God is going to somehow reward them for killing all of us. And the solution to minimize this or to completely stop this is the same solution that we've been saying for a while now. Stop importing people into the country that fundamentally hate you. Ryan and her family moved from Syria when she was just 12 years old, and by 18 she was fully adapted to Western civilization. She started to refuse to wear the hijab in public, she had a Dutch boyfriend, she was very active on TikTok, and her Muslim family, including her father and her brothers who upheld Sharia law, weren't too happy about that. Her family considered that she's become too westernized and this was embarrassing for the entire family. It's considered that Ryan became an apostate, which is somebody that was a Muslim but decided to leave its faith. So her brothers, identified as Muhammad and Mohammed, allegedly lured her to Rotterdam, and then they took her to a remote location where her father joined Khalid in performing what is called an honor killing. Because Ryan decided to assimilate to the country of where she lives now, her family, who still upholds Sharia law, decided that we need to kill her. And that's exactly what her brothers and her father did. The autopsy reveals signs of strangulation and drowning. Authorities say about 20 meters of adhesive tapes were used to restrain her before she was thrown into the water. After murdering her daughter, the father decided to flee to Syria because Syria upholds Sharia law. That means he won't be prosecuted in Syria for simply upholding his religion. Ask yourself a very simple question. Does this religion seem compatible with our legal system in the West?
Here is my message to the Australian people following the terrorist attack against our Jewish friends in Australia while they were celebrating Hanukkah. I am sad to say this, but I saw this coming. Australia, unfortunately, has tolerated hate speech against Jews for too long. We all saw the protests chanting, "Gas the Jews, kill the Jews," with Hamas and Al-Qaeda flags waving in your streets. That doesn't say words. That emboldens terrorists. So I ask, until when will you confuse freedom of speech with freedom of incitement? Until when will you allow pro-Hamas protests and pretend they are harmless? No, you don't get it, you don't get it. No. They support Palestine. That's a lie. I support Palestinians living in dignity side by side with Israel. That is very different from calling to eradicate Israel or attack Jews. And if you're afraid to say this because of the word Islamophobia, which doesn't exist, by the way, hear it from Arabs and Muslims like me. We know radical Islamists far better than you do. I commend the Muslim hero, Ahmed al-Ahmed, who saved lives with courage. And I send my deepest condolences to the Jewish community of Australia. I will celebrate this Hanukkah with my Jewish friends in the land of Israel, in the land of Judah and Matatiyahu and the Maccabees. Hanukkah is the story of the Maccabees defending Beit HaMikdash. We call in Arabic Beit al-Maqdis, which is the Jewish temple, by the way. And the story of how the Maccabees defeated the Seleucids. Why wouldn't a Muslim honor that? Educated Muslims do. Radical Islamists don't. Let me remind you, anti-Semitism starts with Jews, but it never ends with them. United we stand, united we fight, and with God's help, bi'izrat Hashem, we will prevail, inshallah.
So guys, let me quickly take you through some of the reactions on these headlines, like the one that says fear grieves commuters as bandits abduct, rob travelers on a Lorin Ogbomosho highway, and people have been reacting that this December is going to be like the worst, since these people have invaded Nigeria, and for them Christians are their targets. You can see people cannot go to church. I believe that night vigils are not going to be holding again, like crossover and all that, because of these terrorist attacks. And let's see how Nigerians are reacting. This person say, where are the OPC, forest guards, Omotekun, Nigerian police, Nigerian military chief, Gani Adams, or official Tinubu, common man? Everywhere needs to be secure, these festive people, Bami. And this person says, sounds like someone needs a swift rescue mission. Honestly, with what is happening in Nigeria now, this person say they should stop the attack. Well, I just passed the Ilorin Ogbomosho Expressway and there's nothing like that. This person say he passed the road because Sahara reporter reported that these bandits were terrorizing people on that road, But somebody saying he passed there, but there wasn't anything like that. This will be the very first Christmas in the history of Nigeria that many won't be traveling. And this person said there has been troop deployment, or what we are waiting for them to return from Benin. Okay, this person is trying to say that are we waiting for the troops sent to Benin to return to come and save us? This person say OPC terrorists have started again. I believe it is high time the Nigerian government and international communities proscribe them as terrorist organization. They are. This is not about OPC. You are being told that the Fulanis, the terrorist Fulanis, are kidnapping people, and you are calling OPC. I don't think OPC should be the one doing this at this time. This person say every Yoruba common criminal now is known as bandit, thereby removing the fact that there are Yoruba indigenous criminals in the town. The name bandits is fantastic hideout for Yoruba terrorists. I don't know why people are calling Yoruba terrorists. When we have a collective problem, let's face it as a nation and stop tribalizing everything. I think that's just my take, This means the Southwest is now officially a playground for Nigerian bandits. Our government must rise to the occasion now. This person say nowhere is safe anymore, and these people are fast approaching like they are hell-bent on moving south. I mean, this should be the concern of everybody. These terrorists have destroyed the north. They want to terrorize the entire Nigeria. I'm just wondering why Tinubu cannot, wield that power he has. The Supreme Court has come out to say that Tinubu has the power to declare emergency rule to sack any elected governor or any elected office holder. Can you imagine? And then somebody reacted and said, okay, when a northern president comes in and declare emergency rule in Lagos and removes Lagos governor, don't cry. The Yorubas shouldn't cry, because now Tinubu is doing it and the Supreme Court is justifying it. Tomorrow, when another northern governor comes in and declares state of emergency in Lagos, even when nothing is happening, there is no cause for alarm, and they remove the governor, nobody should cry, because we know how the politicians in Nigeria can just do some funny things, especially when Supreme Court make this kind of rulings that don't have basis. People will just maximize it to do their own selfish interest. Now, this person said bandits should finish those Yoruba bastards. Anyway, we don't need the bandits to finish anybody in Nigeria. Nigerians have the right to live. This the fear Tinubu and APC or Nonuga want to achieve. You can't travel freely or go to church in your own country. Some of their urging and louds don't see the decay. This news is fake. There are no bandits in the area. Southwest is crisis free. How far? Okay. For how long will we continue living in fear? I mean, they are just putting fear in the lives of people, and honestly, it's really, really so sad that this country is really moving in that direction. Now, let's see another headline here. Somebody tweeted a photo of the Almajiris asking who failed them. Is it the government or the parents? And let's see what Nigerians are saying. Like this person said, the government first, followed by their parents. Another person said, I think it's their parents first. This person said the society, family, religion, and government. And then this person also said there is nothing like this in Islam. This person is Islam that failed them. There's nothing like this in Islam. Another person said their parents and religion. And this person is getting angry. And this person said there are parents there. Okay, I don't know why people are saying it's just their parents that failed them. I think the government really has a role to play. In such an environment, you have to make education very mandatory. Wallahi is their wrong religious creed. First, then their parents. If the government, why don't we see the children of other tribes in Nigeria on the street like this? It is Sufi Darika teaching of the northern Nigeria that encourages this. Their parents are farmers. If you have given birth to them in Europe, even without parents, they will live a better life. The country failed them. If the country failed even the parents. So this person is trying to say that if these children were to have been born in Europe, they will still be better citizens even without parents, meaning the government will still have a way to take good care of them. So the blame should go to the government, because if the government put policies on ground and avoid all these early marriages where these old men will marry young children, and at the end of the day they give birth to children they cannot even take care of, and then with the terrorism in the north that has ended up making many children to be widows and widowers, orphans, you can imagine what that means to Nigeria. And these children are growing without parental guide, without the government taking proper care of them. At the end, they end up joining all these terrorist groups and become a threat to the Nigerian state. And that's why the government has a lot of work to do. I don't even know what Tinubu is doing in office, honestly. He's not talking about the out-of-school children, the many northerners without skills. These are some of the things, northerners, will I say they are lazy? They are the type that southern, for the fact that they don't like Western education, is making them, they can't even learn all these digital skills. And thereby, we have a lot of them being illiterate, and at the end of the day, they end up carrying guns against the Nigerian state. Anyway, let's see how all this is going to go. Now, this one says, I am a taxpayer and I have the right to make sure that the tax money paid is used properly and not stolen. That's Aliko Dangote. Yeah, you have the right to speak up, but you don't speak up because who are you going to speak up? Is it the people who are giving you the business privileges you are enjoying? The Supreme Court is the biggest danger to our democracy. Supreme Court, is wrong for governors to remove local government chairman. Supreme Court, president can suspend governors. The inconsistency, their judgment will be the end of democracy. I think this makes sense. You know, Supreme Court came out to say that governors cannot remove local government, but the Supreme Court is saying Tinubu can remove governors. Where are we heading to? Anything that will suit Tinubu, the Supreme Court will declare it. That is a breaking news. So guys, there's a lot happening in Nigeria. Anyway, let's see this breaking news coming from the United States. It says, breaking. The FBI announces they foil a credible terror plot planned for New Year Eve, arresting 4 alleged members of a radical pro-Palestinian extremist group. So guys, we don't even know how this country is going to survive with all this kind of mess that we are seeing in Nigeria today. But let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.